So let me say this, okay? If you keep excusing people's bad behaviors, you're actually part of the problem. You're not healing, you're not the nice person who's just like, you're not always a victim. It gets to a point where you have to start holding people accountable for their actions. Hi, beautiful. Welcome. And if you're not new here, welcome back to Glowing. This is a safe space to feel, to heal, to grow, and to glow. So, hi guys, welcome back. Been a while. So, today we're going to be talking about why you keep excusing people's bad behaviors and how to stop excusing people's bad behaviors. We live in a world where people are going to excuse other people's behaviors just because it's wrapped up in trauma or, bad vibes or I'm healing right now, or they'll excuse anyone's behaviors just as long as it's sugar coated, as long as it's wrapped. But I'm here to tell you, like, some people know exactly what they're doing, and some people aren't healing. They're just repeating the same thing because they know you're gonna take it. Most people are just basically narcissists, and what is a narcissist's job to do? To target people that have no backbone, to target people that have no way of like standing up for themselves. So when someone is constantly repeating a behavior that is bad, you are part of the problem for enabling it, okay? Catch it where it's at, clock it where it's at, and right then and there, I always say this, up and leave. Bye. I'm not excusing your behavior. I'm not excusing anything. And holding someone accountable is not cancel culture. It's not bullying. It's not, it's not trying to put them down. It's just simply making them take accountability, because when someone doesn't take accountability, or when nobody holds that person accountable, guess what happens? Nothing changes ever. Nothing ever changes. They're gonna keep repeating that same cycle. They're gonna keep treating you like shit. They're gonna keep dogging you out, because guess what? You're not standing up for yourself. You're not taking the matter seriously. You're laughing at their jokes that are basically insults to you. So when people start to like treat you like trash, I'm begging you, you have to realize it and you have to cut them off. Like, it's nothing. Cut them off. Sure, people change. Sure, people evolve. Sure, people are gonna become better. But some people are just like leopards. They never change their spots. And it's so true. It rings true to so many people. They're gonna keep targeting you because they know you can be the one they can use to be the joke in a group, especially in groups. Because I feel like a lot of us have like group friends and friends that we care and we respect, and we don't want to make things awkward by like telling them, listen, the way you spoke to me back there was not nice, or the way you spoke to me in that situation, I would never do that to you. A lot of us are deep rooted people pleasing. We have people pleasing habits down to our bones. So like, if someone's treating you like trash in front of like your friends, you're not gonna want to be like, oh, this is not how you treat, and you're not gonna want to stand up for yourself. And they're gonna keep doing it to you. They're gonna keep repeating it. So once they do it that one time, don't even let it get to a second time. That one time they make fun of you. That one time they make you a joke. That one time they they cancel plans last minute. That one time they treat you like shit. You have to clock it right there. Catch it right there and let them know they have you fucked up right then and there. Like, don't allow it like go past where it is, because then it's like, okay, well, you should have said something then. So say something then and there, so they know like you're not joking around, and you're not the one, you are not the one, like Justin Bieber says, I am not the one. Okay, like, it's not funny. Another thing I need you to know is growth only happens when you make them face what they did. Okay, they're not gonna just suddenly change if you just keep allowing them to do the same thing over and over and over to you. When you show them like, okay, this, I'm not gonna respect this, and if you're gonna keep doing this, it's gonna cost our friendship, it's gonna cost our relationship, it's gonna cost me basically, then they have to listen. And if they don't listen, then they weren't your friend. If they don't listen, then they weren't your partner. If they don't listen, then bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone can't respect you, if someone cannot listen to criticism as well when it comes to you, And it's not even criticism, it's just you stating your boundaries. If someone can't listen to that, then they don't deserve to be in your life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I want to respect myself. Like, I'm sorry. Like, bye. Like, I'm sorry, I have boundaries. I'm sorry. Like, get out of my face. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for a lot of people because a lot of people do have that, like, people pleasing energy, and it's really not your fault. But now that you've grown and now that you're an adult, you have to start setting those boundaries, girl. You have there's no two ways about it. It's going to be real tough, okay? Because some of us just want to make people so happy. We don't want to offend anyone, but it's going to be really tough. But girl, they're going to keep walking all over you. You're going to keep being the joke. You're going to keep being, the nice person that doesn't want to make anyone angry. So coming from a chronic people pleaser, used to be people pleaser, you have to break that habit. You have to break that cycle, or in fact, the loop will repeat tomorrow. It's not even a joke. I'm so serious. My second point is trauma explains behavior, but it doesn't justify it. Like, yes, of course, people have trauma. Yes, of course, people have like baggage. I feel like every single person on earth has some sort of trauma, and I'm not trying to be like, this isn't a plane where we start comparing whose trauma is worse than whose trauma, because if you've experienced trauma, you've experienced trauma. There's no, oh, my trauma is like, my trauma is like, no, you've experienced trauma just the same way we all have experienced trauma. So some people just don't let it be a reason to be a shitty person. And I feel like if you're letting your trauma be a reason why you're a shitty person, then you're just a shitty person, period. Yeah, your trauma doesn't justify you being a shitty person. You're still shitty. Hello? We've all experienced trauma. So if like someone's using that as a reason to be mean to you, or please don't let that be a reason to excuse bad behavior. Okay? No. Yes, I understand that you've had trauma, but honey, around here, we don't disrespect people because of our trauma. Okay? And yes, you can understand, but that doesn't mean, it doesn't justify like them doing those things to you. Okay? My third point is excusing behavior enables more harm when bad behavior is silenced. Because when bad behavior is silenced, of course, like a lot of people who are victims of this bad behavior no longer want to share their story. They no longer want to come forward. So in that case, patterns will continue because they're scared. They don't want to say anything because, well, no one's going to do anything about it. And so you're actually causing more harm, because then you're enabling this bad behavior to continue. Well, you're not saying anything about it, so he's just going to keep doing it to more people. I remember I worked at a place, and we had this one guy, and he was literally so bad to everyone, and everyone excused his bad behavior. So much so that one day he literally just like, when I was working, he was just like, I'm done with this. And then he left his shift 2 hours into his shift. And I can understand capitalism, I can understand all of that because you don't want to stress yourself out. But it was just, he just had such a nasty attitude. Okay, like at the end of the day, we're all slaves of capitalism. Okay, so it's just so frustrating because some people just have such negative and they just try to like justify their bad behavior with trauma. And I'm not one for that. Like, no, just because you've been through trauma doesn't mean the person beside you hasn't been through trauma. And it's not about weighing whose trauma is worse than whose. At the end of the day, we've all experienced trauma, but some people still choose kindness. Some people still choose being loving. Some people still choose, love. And, you know, imagine if we were all just mean. We're all just mean to each other. I feel like we would never have progressed as a society if love didn't come to play the way it did. And I want you to know that protecting someone from consequences often means silencing someone else's well-being. It means someone else's well-being is going to have to pay for the benefits of the offender. My next point is intent doesn't cancel impact. If someone lies and they manipulate and they steal and they're just a shitty person, it doesn't excuse their impact. It's like, just because they had good intents doesn't mean what they did was good, or it doesn't mean the impact is going to change. At the end of the day, your intent doesn't really matter if the impact is saying something different. If you intended good wishes by, you know, let's say I intended to buy flowers and I never bought the flowers and I actually bought like a spiky, cactus instead. And then when the person received it, they stabbed their hands. My intent was flowers, but what was my impact? Pain. Okay? So at the end of the day, you have to understand that intent and impact are two different things. And if the manipulator is telling you, oh, that was not what I intended. I didn't intend, but the impact was different. You still treated me like shit. Yes, you didn't intend to treat me like shit, but you did. So now what? That's how you have to like talk to these people. You know what I mean? You have to respect yourself and you have to make sure they respect you too. And if they're not going to respect you, then they can leave. They can go home. I don't need you around me. Okay? But around here, we're not going to excuse people's bad behavior. My next point is growth requires discomfort. People don't change when you baby them, or people don't change when you excuse their behaviors all the time. People change when you start standing up for yourself, when you stop taking it, when you're like, okay, I've had it up to here and it's enough. Of course they're gonna change. You're gonna be like, okay, well, I don't really want to play that joke on her again because she seems to be taking it seriously now. You're like, I promise you, their attitude towards you will change when you stop taking their disrespect. It will change, girl. It will change. When they're forced to self-reflect, of course it's gonna change. Their attitude is gonna change because now what? Now who's gonna take it? Not me. So who? Okay, you're gonna have to change. If you want to be my friend, you're gonna have to change. Okay? Okay? Like, you have to make sure your boundaries are clear when you're talking to manipulators, or else they're gonna keep walking you. They're gonna keep walking you like a dog. And I want you to know that calling out people's behavior doesn't equal to cancel culture. Like, calling out people's behavior is not cancel culture. Like, I can hold you accountable and still wish you well. I can hold you accountable and you can still grow from, your manipulative tactics, or from your lying, or from your treating me like shit. Like, just because I held you accountable doesn't mean, like, we have to stop being friends. Well, unless your disrespect gets too far, then obviously we have to stop being friends, because I'm not going to allow you disrespect me when, it's not by force to be friends. You know what I mean? We're not glued. We don't have to be friends. But if you're going to keep disrespecting me, and you're going to keep walking all over me, if you're going to keep treating me like shit, then of course I'm going to have to let you go as a friend. But just because I'm telling you that this affects me in this way doesn't mean, like, I wish you bad, or it doesn't mean cancel culture. You're allowed to call out their actions and demand better, and still, wish them well. And I want you to stop confusing kindness with tolerance for disrespect. Like, yes, I know you're kind, but it can also be your people-pleasing tendencies, and it can just be you just wanting to make peace with everything, no stress. But it gets to a point where you have to start setting these boundaries for yourself, okay? And if they can't accept these boundaries, if they can't accept you not wanting them to make fun of you anymore, then they're not really your friends, okay? Take it from your fairy glow. They're not really your friends. They suck. If that's what friendship is, I never want that. I never wish that on you either. So please stop protecting people from accountability, and stop shaming people just for wanting basic decency. Some people just want people to take accountability for their actions, and I feel like a lot of society like shames it, like, oh, just be quiet, like, no, they're a shitty person and you guys are just disciples of them. You guys are just laughing at everything they do. It's not funny. They're making fun of you. You're not a circus. You're not a clown. Nothing is funny. So yeah, if this video spoke to you and you have like people pleasing tendencies and you don't want to call people out on their actions, you're gonna have to, okay, darling. If you need to keep coming to this video to keep reminding yourself, okay, I gotta like cut these people off because they keep disrespecting me, and I'm not one for disrespect, and I want to take myself seriously, and I don't want to lower my self-esteem for these people. I don't want to keep being manipulated. I don't want to keep excusing their bad behavior. Like, yes, they're my friends, but they're not really my friends if they keep disrespecting me? So I keep coming back to this video to remind yourselves. And yeah, thank you for watching till the end. I love you, and I hope you know that people wish you well, people love you, people want to see you succeed, people want to see you, you know, happy. And if that one person is just not treating you nicely, or that group of people, I don't care how many they are, it is okay to be a lone wolf. It is okay to go solo, or either you want to do that or you want to communicate those boundaries to them. And if you're not listening to your boundaries, then you're gonna have to find new friends. Okay, so I love you, take care of yourself, and don't forget to let the glow guide you. Please, 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 please nurture yourself. Don't forget to keep your peace. It is important to keep your peace. I love you, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.